programme. Always a pleasure to get your insight. We stay in the Middle East for our next story, where in the latest developments, Iran's UN mission says Tehran will meet any threat with a counter threat and respond to actions in kind. It adds Iran will neither negotiate nor accept peace terms while under duress. This comes as President Donald Trump left open the possibility of US military involvement in Israeli strikes on Iran, saying, quote, "I might do it, I may not." Speaking during a flagpole installation at the White House, he also slammed the Federal Reserve, calling its chairman stupid for resisting interest rate cuts, insisting there's no inflation and that America has only success. Trump also says Iran wants talks and urges Israel to continue its military action. No promise of more US help, and still plans to have a trip to NATO. Let's take a listen in.
Say that, right? You don't seriously think I'm going to answer that question? Will you strike the Iranian nuclear component? And what time exactly, sir? Sir, would you strike it? Would you please inform us so we can be there and watch? I mean, you don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this, that Iran's got a lot of trouble, and they want to negotiate. And I said, why didn't you negotiate with me before? All this death and destruction. Why didn't you negotiate? I said to the people, why didn't you negotiate with me 2 weeks ago? You could have done fine. You would have had a country. It's very sad to watch this. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's so, everyone thought it was going to be the reverse. I didn't think so. And I was telling them, you gotta do something. You gotta negotiate. And at the end, last minute, they said, no, we're not going to do that, and they got hit. Remember 60 days, and then came the 60. 61 is going to become a very famous number. That was one hell of a hit. That first hit, that was one hell of a hit. Not sustainable, to be honest. That's where it ended. It ended on the first night. Yes.
Meanwhile, Iranian media reported that Israel has struck the Iranian Red Crescent headquarters. Multiple explosions rocked eastern Tehran today, with thick black smoke rising from several areas. The blasts occurred around 3:30 p.m. and again at 3:50 p.m. at local time, marking the sixth day of fierce hostilities between Iran and Israel, amid the most intense fire exchange between the two rivals. Meanwhile, Israel will begin easing wartime domestic restrictions and reopen its economy, Defense Minister Israel Katz announced today. While vowing to continue fighting Iran, Katz said the move aims to restore normalcy, creativity and security. The changes will take effect from Wednesday evening across most of the country. In a related development, the UK has temporarily withdrawn families of its diplomatic staff in Israel amid escalating Iran-Israel conflict. UK embassy and consulate personnel remain in place, and the Foreign Office has confirmed today. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, in a speech on state television, has warned that any US strike on Iran will have serious, irreparable consequences. He also added that Israel is making a huge mistake and will be punished. Meanwhile, Iranian officials say they will not accept peace or war imposed by others. Let's take a listen in to Iran's Supreme Leader.
اینی که به ملت ایران بگم بیایید تسلیم بشید حرف عاقلانه‌ای نیست. افراد با خرد که میشناسن ایران رو، میشناسن ملت ایران رو. صدمه آمریکا اگر ورود در این میدان بشه، ورود نظامی در این میدان بکنه، صدمه جبران ناپذیری خواهد بود بدون تردید.
We're now joined by Nina Slammer, who's an international expert. She's at Reichstone University, located in Israel. Thanks again for joining us, Nina. Trump has once again hinted at US military involvement. He has this sort of language of uncertainty, kind of teasing, hinting at possible US involvement. What are your thoughts on the way Donald Trump is going about leading the narrative in this conversation?
So thank you for having me again. I can tell you that Israel and the US are collaborating very closely in different fronts, but especially now when it comes to the current war between Israel and Iran. Iran is a threat not only to Israel, but also to other countries in the Middle East and in other countries, for other countries in the world. Now it seems that the US is devoted to address, together with Israel and other allies, the threat that Iran is posing right now when it comes to the development of its nuclear capabilities and its ballistic missiles that can reach different countries, not only in West Asia but also in Europe. And now it seems that democratic countries are determined to address the threat of Iran, to dismantle its nuclear capabilities, its ballistic missile capabilities, and restore peace and stability in the region.
Yes, Nina, Israel wants the US to get involved in this conflict. Is this not? Is there not possible for a severe escalation in this due to the fact of alliances? We have Iran, who has an alliance with Russia, who's also called for de-escalation and non-US involvement, and we've got countries like China, and whereas obviously with Israel we have Western democratic allies. What are your views in the fact that this possibly could spiral into something much bigger than it is now?
So there is a competition between coalitions of different countries. We have on the one side democratic countries that would like to bring to peace and stability. This is one coalition, and another coalition in which there are revisionist countries that would like to disturb the current world order by promoting an aggressive policy and a lethal one when it comes to destabilize countries that would like to bring to prosperity, peace and stability in different regions. And we know that following the Abraham Accords that were signed in 2020, there were positive developments that were taking place in West Asia. We know that alliances were formed between India, Israel, the UAE and the US, what we call the I2U2 alliance, and also the aspiration and the willingness to promote the IMEC program, the India, Middle East, European corridor, but in order to promote these kind of projects and aspirations, first of all, it is important to stabilize the region and make sure that countries, state and non-state actors that would like to disturb these kinds of positive development will not be able to destabilize the region time and again. And I'm sure that the US, together with other countries in Europe and West Asia and South Asia, would like to see these positive developments. And it is true that Israel is conducting this war since October 7th, 2023. But I can tell you that in the midst of the war, there are still Israeli officials with other officials of other countries that try to promote these positive developments despite of the current war. So first of all, we have to stabilize the region to be able to restore Israel's national security and this national security of other countries in the region in order to bring to these positive developments.
Nina, I want to finish off with asking you about how Israelis are feeling about this new conflict domestically. Obviously, we see repeated protests against the Netanyahu government, whether that's in regards to the war over his corruption trial or the treatment of the hostages still in Gaza. I was wondering if you could give us a little snapshot of how the Israeli public is feeling currently about this new conflict that they have possibly in their future, in their horizon. What can you tell us?
So I can tell you that Israelis right now are united, Israelis are resilient, and I can assure you that with this unity and resilience, Israel will and shall prevail.
Nina Slammer, thank you very much for